This is part one of a new short series called How It's Made, where I wanted to pick out a few more interesting details, things like music composition, music production, and artwork and vocal collaborations. So this first video is about the composition, so I'm going to share a few key parts of this particular track. The very first thing I wrote for this track was the melody you hear in the intro. So as with most of my tracks, this was composed on electric guitar. What helped me with this particular one was experimenting with tuning. So traditionally guitars are in what's called standard tuning. So the 6 strings from thickest to thinnest are E, A, D, G, B, E. But there's nothing to stop you, of course, from changing the tuning of any of these strings. And for this particular track, it was composed and played in C, F, A, G, G, E. And this actually came about from a mistake that I made when I was previously restringing my guitar. And what this means is that experimenting with compositions, chord structures and melodies that you would ordinarily play in standard tuning can produce some interesting results in this tuning. And that's pretty much how I came up with this. If I play this melody for you now slowly, you'll see how it looks. Now, some of these shapes I would play in standard tuning. For example, there is a shape in there that is traditionally referred to as a power chord. In this tuning, it doesn't sound like a power chord. And actually, a lot of the shapes that I would normally use to play chords produce quite dark sounding melodies, and this is one of those. So this is how it sounds slowed down. And this is how it sounds in full speed. So of course, once I've written that, I need to translate it into digital sound. I rarely use guitar samples in my music, mainly because it just doesn't fit very well with the style of everything else that I create. So we have a look at this project file. This is the virtual instrument that I used to play back that melody within the track. So this is Roly Studio Player. It comes with Roly equipment. I have a Roly MIDI keyboard, which I use sometimes to help with composing or for messing around with kind of live demos. And this is how it sounds. And I'm mostly just using a preset in here called Fluid Acoustic Bass. Now from that point, the track in some ways kind of put itself together. That melody sets the whole tone. It's played at quite a fast speed. It's quite aggressive. And so what I wanted to do with that intro in particular was start adding in some horns and strings without that staccato rhythm, just to kind of bring in a different dynamic. And I think that serves in the intro really well to kind of build up that cinematic feel. So that's a small insight into how the track was written. If you've got any deeper questions about the composition or the production side of things, let me know. Drop a comment, send me a DM. In the next video, I'll be talking about the vocals. So we'll be having a look at how the vocal collaboration took place and also looking a bit into the production side about how the vocals were then mixed in to the instrumental. Hopefully you're enjoying the single so far, and I hope you'll be able to join me in part 2.